a million people would have told you that that was a really bad decision on my part. And maybe it was. Maybe it was irresponsible from a practical sense, but it felt right to me. And really, what else do we have at the end of the day than doing what we think is right for us and seeing it all the way through and walking it all the way out? You know what I mean?
What I will do every single night before bed and every single morning when I wake up is I will just jot down what new things I want to step into and what things I want to be sorted in my sleep. So what new energies I want to embody and what new frequencies I want to live in and what ideas and concepts I want to understand in a next level way. And I'll ask that that happen in my sleep. So this one from a few days ago says, I always make $250,000 at least each month that is easy and obvious. I set the intention to understand and to live in the frequency of $250,000 month as my energetic minimum. So I'm just saying what it is I want to step into and what I want to embody, and then I'm going to bed. And sometimes you'll wake up feeling like you downloaded something in your sleeps. Most of the time you'll wake up feeling fucking normal, but ideas will hit later throughout the day. The idea behind all of this is next level ease. Like, you understand the foundation. The foundation is that we have to change our mind. We have to rearrange our energy. We have to line up with the thing we want so we can be an energetic match for the thing you want. So now that you understand that that's the work, there's other kind of next level ways that we can do that work. Does that make sense? When I notice I'm out of the vibe of money, I feel like I fucked it up, and then I overthink how much of the time I have to be in the vibe of money to receive versus not, if that makes sense. My friend Stefan, I don't know if he made up this phrase or if this is, someone else says this, but he says your dominant vibration, your dominant feeling. So we all have lots of feelings, lots of the time, day in and day out, and he focuses on what is his dominant vibration, what is the vibration he lives in more time than not. That could be a helpful way to think of it. You don't have to be perfect all the time. You don't have to feel like you're rolling in like barrels of money at every minute to create abundance. What is your default state becoming? I think I said this like throughout the course. It went from scarcity being my default to scarcity and like abundance having small moments to abundance being my default and scarcity having small moments. And that, I think, is something we can create over time. So I feel abundant a lot of the time. During the past 3 weeks of being quarantined or whatever, have there been moments where I felt definitely overly like worried or burdened or concerned or alarmed, like with things going out in the world and the financial repercussions for people? For sure, but I don't live in those moments. I see them, I acknowledge the moments, I let them pass through me, but I choose new dominant thoughts for how my life gets to be. But I don't want that to kind of burden you either. I don't want you to feel like you're not doing it right if you, the majority of the time, you are still feeling scarcity and lack and feeling bad. If that's where you're at the majority of the time, the goal isn't to go like, how do I feel this other way the majority of the time so I cannot be fucking it up and so I can do this right? That's not the vibe. The vibe is to just shift into feeling better, like a couple times a day. Just get out your journal, write positive affirmations around money, say positive things to yourself around money, read the affirmations from each module of this course, and just a couple times a day, if nothing else, just feel good. Feel good for a minute in relation to money. That will add up over time. Do you get that the principle out of everything I just said is that the more you feel good, the better? So the things I look for that help me know I'm going in the right direction are like ooh, that feels good. There is ease with that. There is peace with that. I remember in the church world I used to be a part of, they would say, do you have a peace about it? So do you have a peace about it? So for me, it feels like ease. It feels like maybe an exhale. Even if I'm scared to do it, even if it makes me nervous, underneath it, I'm excited. I sense opportunity. I sense ease. I sense, holy fuck, that's it. And that's how it feels for me. Other people really like to use signs. How we receive guidance is such a fucking personal thing. But I know this is reliable. Ask for guidance, pay attention, and work with whatever it is, you believe in, whatever you want to call God or source or whatever the fuck. What is it like to work with it? And what is it like to be led? You know what I mean? And then stay open. I'm so guilty of, we're all so guilty of getting caught up in our lives and not stopping to ask for help often enough. Not stopping to be like, I don't know the answer to this one on my own. That is so huge for me. Like, how in module 6, we talk about making the to-do list for God? I hadn't done it in a while, but recently in the past few weeks, I've been making God these fucking long laundry lists of things I don't know the answer to, things I don't know how to sort for myself, things I'm a little confused about. And then when I go back and look and I'm able to start checking them off, I'm like, oh my God, I'm being guided all the time. Solutions are coming all the time. Since we're not always tracking our solutions, we're not always recognizing our solutions, and we're not always realizing we were receiving solutions. Do you know what I mean? But I do think guidance is available, and I do think solutions are always coming. There's no moment where I would be like, I'm not hearing guidance, because I'm not waiting to hear fucking anything. I'm just living my life and staying aware to what feels good, what feels right, what feels true, and what I can put my faith behind, what I can put myself behind, my faith and energy behind. Does that make sense?
My biggest struggle is trusting myself with money. I would begin to little by little add up the evidence that you can handle money. One day and one choice at a time. I would even, if you can get yourself to, make a list of every time you handled money well, ever. Every time you got the bill paid, every time you invested in the thing that ended up being really valuable for you, every time you did a good fucking job, which is probably a lot more times than you think, I would imagine. And even if you have been bad with money, because I can think of things that were bad with money. I was in grad school with living on the student loans. I don't know. And I remember in that time where I was taking out the student loans to pay for school and partly to live, and I still had a lot of jobs, but again, I was reliant on student loans. I can think of a lot of different people that said, you get that you're going to need to pay these back, and the interest and the this and the that. I'm not saying student loans are good or right for everyone. I'm saying it felt really divine for me, and it felt really aligned for me. And I paid them fucking off. I didn't pay them off the minute I had the money. I paid them off when it felt aligned. I paid it off when it felt easy. I paid it off when the true overflow of it made it possible. And a million people would have told you that that was a really bad decision on my part. And maybe it was. Maybe it was irresponsible from a practical sense, but it felt right to me. And really, what else do we have at the end of the day than doing what we think is right for us and seeing it all the way through and walking it all the way out? You know what I mean? I think that's all we got. I love you madly and deeply and always. And I'll see you on the Instagrams. And if you recorded any of this and took a little moment and you put it on your stories, I would love to see it. I would love to reshare it. Okay. I love you.